Welcome back. I'm back. You're back. Hey, we back. Welcome everyone to this episode on the Ultimate Sports TV, guys. The first round of the 2021 NFL Draft was amazing. We had some expected picks. We even had some surprising picks and some very good picks that I was very proud of for teams of picking the players that they picked, guys. Today in this video, guys, I'm going to be tier listing and grading all of the first round draft picks, guys. It was an entertaining night for the first round of the NFL Draft, guys. But before I get into tier listing these picks, please make sure you subscribe to the Ultimate Sports TV. Because if you're not subscribed, you're missing out on so much, people. Because this is the hot spot. Get lots and lots of hot from the Ultimate Sports TV spot with NBA and NFL content. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button and join the TSTV squad. Then we're done with that. Please like this video for me, share this video and YouTube channel. Then comment down below your team's pick and their grade in the comment section below of what you thought they did well or they did not do well in the first round last night, guys. But now let's get into this. We'll tier list all of these picks here. And first, we're going to start with Elijah Vera Tucker. He went to the Jets at 14th overall, and I thought that was a pretty good value pick. Elijah Vera Tucker was going to be moving up draft boards, and when you get a guy like Zach Wilson who needs some good protection to be good, I think Elijah Vera Tucker, who can play guard or tackle, is a good pick right here and now. There were some other guys that I thought the Jets should have picked. I thought Tim and Jenkins was better. I thought Alex Leatherwood was better, but I do like the pick of Elijah Vera Tucker here because I think he's going to be a good tackle or guard in the NFL and a good guy to help protect Zach Wilson. Rashod Bateman, he fell to 27 to the Baltimore Ravens. I thought that was a great pick for them. You get a tall receiver who was maybe behind Devonta Smith as the best route runner in the draft, a good 50-50 ball catcher to help Lamar Jackson and his accuracy. Just a guy to add to that receiving core. Now it looks like their receiving core is really shaping up with Rashod Bateman, Marquise Brown, and Sammy Watkins. I like what it's looking right now. Although I'm a Browns fan and I don't like the Ravens, I will give them credit where their credit is due. I think Rashod Bateman was a great value pick for them, knowing where he fell, knowing what you want to add to Lamar Jackson's skill set. And when you want to make Lamar Jackson better, go get him a good 50-50 ball receiver who is a great route runner. Now, the only problem I have with him is his release off the line. But I do believe that the Ravens develop great, and I believe that they can develop a great wide receiver in Rashod Bateman. Now, here, Jamar Chase, I think it was a good pick. Now, if he went to any other team, I think it would be a great pick. But for the Bengals, I do not think it is a great pick because you could have picked and you should have picked Penei Sewell here. Although you do have Jonah Williams and Riley Reef. Kick someone inside. You do whatever you can at this point to protect Joe Burrow. Move Penei Sewell inside. Move Jonah Williams inside. Do something to protect Joe Burrow. Although they are giving him as many possible weapons as he can get, I think getting an offensive lineman, knowing you already have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, would have been the better decision. And let's not act like Penei Sewell is not a generational talent at offensive tackle. He would have been a great pick for the Bengals, knowing you could get a good wide receiver in the second round. You could have got an Elijah Moore. You could get a Tylan Wallace. You could get a Rondell Moore. There are good a Terrace Marshall. There are good receivers in the second round. When you are trying to put priority, knowing your quarterback got hurt last year, you're putting priority on making sure that guy stays healthy. You go get the generational tackle, knowing you already have some good receivers there. You take the tackle. But I do like the pick for Jamar Chase here because Tyler Boyd probably isn't going to be with the Bengals next year. So I thought Jamar Chase to the Bengals was a good pick, just not a great pick. Now, Zaven Collins to the Cardinals, I thought that was a bad pick. When you have Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah, Jamin Davis, and other linebackers on the board, you don't take Zaven Collins. I like the system fit, but I think Jamin Collins and Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah would have been a good system fit for the Cardinals. I don't think it was a good pick because there were better guys up there, and I'm just not a fan of Zaven Collins. Now, Christian Darrisaw to the Vikings. I don't think he's better than Tevin Jenkins. That's why I'm giving this a neutral pick kind of grade, but he's physical. Christian Darrisaw is definitely physical, and that's what I like about him. I like this pick for the Vikings here, knowing they have to fix up their offensive line. I think he fits their system, knowing he is a tough offensive lineman, knowing that he can make a way in the run game. So I think no, I'll move it up to a good pick for the Vikings. Although I do not think Christian Darrisaw is going to be an absolutely great tackle in the NFL, I do think it is a good value pick for the Vikings here at number 23, I believe. Now, Jamin Davis, I thought that was a good pick for the Washington football team. He fits their system. They love to use those linebackers. And when you have a defensive line like the Washington football team do, it makes the linebacker's job way easier. You want to play coverage, you want to come rush the passer, Jamin Davis is good at both. So he fits the system. His skill set is good. It's a great pick. No, it's a great pick for the Washington football team here. Now, Travis Etienne to the Jaguars, that was a terrible pick. You don't need a running back right now when you have James Robinson, and you have some holes in the secondary. Trevon Moring was there. I believe Greg Newsom was there. Greg Newsom was there. He went to the Browns at pick 26, while the Jaguars were at pick 25. You need another offensive lineman. You don't go ahead and pick another running back when you have a good running back. Although I do think Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer are going to be a good duo in the NFL, I don't think this was a good pick by the Jaguars GM and Urban Meyer right here. I don't like this pick at all. Now, Caleb Farley to the Titans, I say this is a neutral pick. I think Greg Newsom was the better talent. I thought they should have went Greg Newsom, and he also fit the Titans system. Greg Newsom really fit the Titans system. But hey, Caleb Farley is a good talent. His injuries just really concern me out of anyone in this draft here because for a corner, a back injury is really severe. I'll give it a neutral pick. I think it could end up being a good pick, but right now I'll give it a neutral pick because I don't think he was the third best corner in this draft. Justin Fields to the Bears was the best pick other than Trevor Lawrence of the entire first round. He was the steal of the draft. And I'll be having a steal of the first round picks a video coming out, guys, but this was the steal of the draft here with Justin Fields. He shouldn't have fell that low. He should have went number 2 to the Jets. That's how good I think Justin Fields is. But when you have a guy like Matt Nagy who runs a kind of a run-heavy system that Justin Fields can really benefit from, and you can use Justin Fields' mobility to really sauce that scheme up, I think that is really good. And you get a guy who has a strong arm, is really accurate, and all of the decision-making kind of things we don't really like about Justin Fields, Matt Nagy is going to fix them. This guy can read a defense. He can get to his second and third read. Watch the film. His only problem with him is decision making, and I think Matt Nagy can fix that. Now, a problem with Matt Nagy last year was that he was not expanding the playbook with Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles. But with the talent like Justin Fields, where you have that mobility, you have the arm strength, and you have the accuracy, he is going to be able to expand that playbook this year. Najee Harris to the Steelers, I thought this was a good pick. Now, I don't really feel all that great about running backs going in the first round, especially if you're a team knowing that running backs most likely aren't really going to go in the first round. I thought the Steelers should have went Tevin Jenkins here. People were sleeping on Tevin Jenkins in this draft. And if you want a good linebacker, you got to have a good offensive line. And the Steelers, as of right now, after the first round, do not have that. Najee Harris is a good pick for the Steelers. I just don't like where they picked him, knowing you could have gotten a guy like Tevin Jenkins to go on that offensive line. Now, J.C. Horn, that was a great pick for the Carolina Panthers. He is the best corner in the draft. He's a better coverage corner than Patrick Surtain, and I just think he's going to be a shutdown corner in this league. He's going to be a great corner in this league. You know what? I'm actually going to move it down to a good pick. Still keep all the wonderful things I said about JC Horn. This isn't about JC Horn. It's just about what the Panthers did here, knowing what they have on their team. When you have Sam Darnold, I think you would want to really build up your offensive line. I think JC Horn is a good pick, but knowing what your other team needs were, I think you could have done better. Mac Jones to the Patriots, I think that was a great pick. He fits Bill Belichick's system. I think Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick will really be able to develop him. Trey Lance to the 49ers, I think that was the probably second best pick of the night. He's going to be able to sit behind Jimmy Garoppolo in a good system that he can fit in. He'll expand Kyle Shanahan's playbook, knowing what mobility he has, knowing he's strong, he has a strong arm, knowing he's smart, and has some good accuracy. I love this pick for the 49ers, knowing he has everything you want in a quarterback, knowing you have Jimmy Garoppolo to sit in front of, to start in front of him for a year or two. I think really with Trey Lance, his problem is some fundamental stuff. And when you have him sitting behind a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo, who is smart and is great at fundamentals, and you have a coach like Kyle Shanahan, who is great at teaching quarterbacks, this is a great spot for Trey Lance, and it makes it a good situation for the 49ers here. we all know Trevor Lawrence was probably the best pick of the night. He was the number one pick. No mistake about it. He was the best pick of the night. Alex Leatherwood, I think he was a good pick for the Raiders here. He's a good, big, physical tackle, and I think he fits what the Raiders want to do on offense. Greg Newsom to the Browns, I thought that was a great pick. To me, he was the second best corner in the draft. I know it's a hot take kind of because I put him in front of Patrick Surtain, but I think he is better in zone than Patrick Surtain, and he is almost as equally great in man. He is also a good physical corner. Although people don't really love his speed, you can like his speed, and he's not as slow as Patrick Surtain. He's a versatile corner, so he can rush the passer and stop the run. This was a wonderful pick here for the Cleveland Browns to really shore up that secondary. There are no more holes with the cornerbacks or the DBs and the safeties back there, guys. Now, when we look at that Chiefs game, the linebackers weren't the problem. It was the secondary. And when you add a guy like John Johnson, you getting back Grant Delpit, you add Troy Hill to Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams, then you add Greg Newsom, who is really a player comp to Denzel Ward and fits your system as a kind of zone scheme on defense. This is a great pick for the Browns. He's a good talent. He's versatile. He can do a lot of things as a corner. He was my second best corner, and he fits your system there. So I think that was a great pick for the Cleveland Browns. Now, Jason Owa, I think that was a bad pick for the Ravens. I do not like that pick at all. Azeez Ojulari was on the board. He is a way better player than Jason Owa. Jason Owa had 0 sacks. People who have sacks in college are not all that great. Now, we look back at Barchevius Mingo when he got picked by the Browns, and I believe it was 2014, 2013. It wasn't a great pick because he didn't have a lot of production in college, and he turned out to be a bust. I think it's going to be the same story with Jason Owa. Although he is athletic, he needs to get stronger, and he didn't put up a lot of production last year. So I think it's a bad pick there for the Ravens, knowing you had Azeez Ojulari behind him. Also, you had Peyton Turner, Carlos Basham, and Joe Tryon. All right, now Micah Parsons to the Cowboys. I think it was a pretty good pick. I think they're going to move him to defensive end now that they're moving on from that 3-4 scheme and getting back to the 4-3, knowing they don't really need a linebacker to play coverage. And Micah Parsons is not much of a coverage linebacker. He's a good blitzer, good run stopper, and a good pass rusher. I think he'll go well in the Cowboys system. I think he'll go well next to DeMarcus Lawrence. I think it's a good pick for the Cowboys. Kwity Paye to the Colts was a good pick. I think pairing him with DeForest Buckner was really good. Jalen Phillips for me to the Dolphins was a great pick, knowing they need help on that defensive line. And I think Jalen Phillips is going to be a stud. Kyle Pitts, we already know, was a great pick for the Atlanta Falcons. Gregory Rousseau, I don't like him. I don't really like him as a defensive end. Again, when you have Azeez Ojulari, I think it was a bad pick for the Bills here. Azeez Ojulari is a good system fit. I think he is a better player than Gregory Rousseau. I don't like the pick there for the Bills. Penei Sewell, he was another steal, knowing the Dolphins and Bengals really passed on him with two wide receivers. I think the Lions got a steal there and finally find a good tackle, a tackle they have really been looking for years. Rashawn Slater, the Chargers, that was a good pick, knowing you want to protect Justin Herbert. I kind of thought they would have gone and moved back to try and get a corner, but that was a great pick there for the Chargers to go get Rashawn Slater and really shore up that offensive line, making sure you do what the Bengals don't and get offensive line help to protect your quarterback. Now, Devonta Smith, he was a great pick for the Eagles. You reunite him with Jalen Hurts. The chemistry is there. I thought Devonta Smith was the best wide receiver in the draft. Great pick there for the Eagles. Eric Stokes to the Packers. I think it was a neutral pick. I like Eric Stokes. I just don't think he should have gone in the first round, especially when you're in a Packers position where you know Aaron Rodgers wants to leave. Go get him some weapons. Don't add fuel to the fire. Go help Aaron Rodgers. Don't go get a guy like Eric Stokes where you don't really need a DB on defense right now. Go get an offensive player. You don't need Eric Stokes. But I think it's a neutral pick because Eric Stokes is a good player. Patrick Surtain to the Broncos. I think that was a good pick there. Kadarius Toney to the Giants. I think that's a neutral pick. I don't really like that pick. I never really thought they needed a wide receiver. They have Kenny Golladay, Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, and John Ross. And then they have two good tight ends in Evan Ingram and Kyle Rudolph. But hey, you can never have enough weapons for a guy like Daniel Jones, who doesn't deserve a nickname and is not that good. Now, Joe Tryon to I believe he went to the Buccaneers. I think that was a pretty good pick. You kind of move him in a couple years to replace Jason Pierre-Paul or Ndamukong Suh. Now, Peyton Turner to the Saints, I think that was a bad pick for them, knowing what they need on defense right now. You pick up Marcus Davenport's fifth-year option. Although he is not the player we all wanted him to be, I don't think you go out and draft a defensive end knowing you need a linebacker, knowing you need another receiver, knowing you need another corner. I don't think it was a great pick at all for the Saints there. Jaylen Waddle, I don't really like this pick for the Dolphins. First off, I don't think Jaylen Waddle is going to be what everyone says he's going to be. I think he needs to polish his route running, get better hands, and know how to get better separation when route running. People are so in love with his speed, they forget everything else and what his flaws are. And I just don't think it's a great system fit. Although I do think he's going to do pretty well with Tua Tagovailoa. You already have Will Fuller, you already have Mike Gesicki, you already have Devontae Parker. I just don't think it's a great pick there for the Miami Dolphins. And then Zach Wilson to the Jets. I'll give it a good pick just because I thought Justin Fields is better than Zach Wilson. They basically have the same flaws. I would say Zach Wilson just has a bit more. They just love his moxie. They love everything he has with his arm strength and his accuracy. But he has decision-making problems, and he is not really always read a defense yet. He has trouble with his accuracy under pressure. He can chuck balls up under pressure. He plays hero ball. I just don't like him as a pick. And when you're going into a situation where you don't have a great offensive line, I think you should have picked Justin Fields. But I think it was a good pick because of the talent that Zach Wilson is, guys. But this is my tier list here for the first round picks of the 2021 NFL draft, guys. I think it was a pretty good draft. We have a lot of talent in this draft, and I think a lot of the talent is going to turn out well. But we did have some bad picks where you left some guys on the board or you picked some guys you didn't need, guys. Make sure you grade my tier list in the comment section below of grading these 2021 NFL first round draft picks, guys. This is Malik Hicks, aka the Ranker of the Ultimate Sports TV, signing off. Peace out, and I'll see you in my next one.